is wrong. I'm asking if you guys agree with that.
I agree.
What is the formula we memorized? Y equals mx plus p. So if you stack this below it and say y equals x, what is m in this problem? 1. It's 1. If it were 0, x wouldn't be there. If it were 0, it would 0 times x is 0. Wouldn't be there. So this must be 1. What's b in this problem? 0. So what does that line look like? It's the line with a y-intercept of 0 and a slope of 1. It's that line. Y equals x. That's the most basic line we can give you. It's called a parent function. Okay? It hasn't been moved. It hasn't been moved up or down. It's the original. Now, here are the rules. There are some rules we have to abide by. All right? A horizontal translation is horizontal left to right or up and down? Left to right. Do you know what the word translate means? Not in foreign language. In math. It means to slide. Okay? A translation is a slide. It's not doing this. It's not rotating. It's translating. It's sliding. Okay? Left to right, up and down. So what you really have to do is take one point on the line, because I bet some of you would look at the black line and say, if I say go from the black line to the red line, you would say, oh, kind of shift up and to the left, wouldn't you? Can you guys see how some students would think that? That's not actually what's happening. You're taking this point and you're sliding it over to this point. But do you see how that result gives you that red picture? Can you see it? Yes, sir. Help me out.
Yeah.
Okay. Some of you are not. So let me show you real quick. You don't believe me? Don't believe me? Just watch. Ready? Slide. Oh, that was going to be really cool. Slide to the left. You see it? What did I do? Did I go up and to the left? No, I just slid to the left. Didn't we take away some x values? To go to the left. Yeah. I wasn't at 0. Maybe I'm at like -1. Or I took away some x values.
Yeah.
Didn't I take x and I subtracted some number? I took x and I moved it to the left. Okay? Well, how would I move to the right? Yeah, if I'm going from this one, I move to the right by adding on some numbers, right? Okay?
And the move, guys, how do you tell it's left to right? It's with X and it's in parentheses, okay? And it's opposite because subtraction is part of the formula. And if you add something, think about something. If you put a positive number in there, it's going to stay negative. So let's say we move 3 to the right, okay? It would look like X minus 3 in parentheses. It's going to be the opposite way you think it would. Because what would happen if you put a negative one there in the red, it would turn to plus. Okay?
Here's what Mr. Parker's saying. Since I'm up here, I'll draw it for what he's saying. He said 3. Put in 3. Okay? What's f of x minus 3? What does that mean? You would think moves to the left, wouldn't you? Okay? But here's the real question. Where's this line crossing the x-axis?
3.
At x equals 3. Ready? What's the y value there? 0. Watch what happens. Ready? This point is 3, 0. Do you agree with that? Wasn't it at 0, 0? Wasn't it? It was at 0, 0, and then we moved it to the right 3. Do you agree? Watch what you have to do. What x value has to be plugged into this right here to make it 0? 3. Positive or negative? Positive 3. So if I plug in x equals 3, I get f of 0, which is 0. Okay? So I took that point that was at 0, 0. Now it takes a 3 to get plugged into there to make it where it was.
What would it look like if it moved 3 to the left, guys? If we moved our line 3 to the left, what would it look like inside the parentheses? No, it'd be what? X plus 3. It would be, we don't write minus and negative. We write it as what? That's actually what's going on. We automatically write plus.
I know this is confusing. I remember when I was a student, like you guys are right now, I didn't understand what that really meant yet. Okay? Just, can you accept it that that's what's happening as you move it left and right? If you don't fully understand it, it's okay. All right? We'll keep practicing this. All right. Oh, we didn't get to the vertical. Vertical translations. Do you notice how the horizontals had happened inside with the x's? On the vertical translations, it's going to happen outside with the y's. All right? So if you take your f of x and you add 3, that's going to keep the same sign. Okay? It's going to stay 3. It's not going to change to opposite like this one did. It's going to actually move the graph up 3 units. If this were plus 3, it moves up 3 units. So it was here. Now it's up to here. If you take away, if you make k negative, you're actually subtracting a number like minus 5. That moves it down 5 units. Okay? So if we take our f of x equals x, which graph did I just write the equation for? Black, blue, or red? Black. Everybody agree? What if I make it f of x equals x plus 7? Did it move up 7 or down 7? Up 7. Vertical, same sign. Plus 7, it goes up 7. Horizontal, opposite signs.
Yeah.
If you see a plus 3, it actually moved left 3. If you see a minus 3, it moved right 3 for horizontal. Vertical, same sign. Okay? You want to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, guys, if it's not in the parentheses, which it's not over here on the right, it's going to tell you, Mr. Westphal just said it, there's no opposite signs. If it's plus, you're going to go up. If it's minus, you're going down. That's what makes that one kind of a little easier to see.
All right, let's take a look at some examples. Use the graphs of f and g to describe the transformation from the graph of f to the graph of g. All right. So, you want to graph these first?
I think it's nice to see. First of all, guys, look on the right, guys. Are we going to go up, down, left, or right? Look at on the right there.
Over here?
Yeah. What do you guys think? Up what? Okay, so why don't we write that over there, up 3. And then I think just to build on what we've been doing, we graphed the first line on the left, and then we moved like 5 points. We moved all the points up 3, and then graphed the new line.
Another thing you could do if I keep this, isn't this g of x, g of x? What's f of x in our example?
Y.
But what is it didn't they already, this is f of x. What did they tell us f of x is equal to?
3x minus 4.
3x minus 4. Do you agree? So didn't we take f of x and add 3 to it? What's adding 3 to it going to do? We just learned. Up 3. Right? So I could do this a couple different ways. I'm going to do this a couple different ways. All right? I'm going to take this graph that has a slope of
You guys should be writing this.
3 and a y-intercept of, help me out, 0, negative 4. I'm going to graph it.
You guys should. This is what we've been doing, right? Nothing's different here.
I go up 3, right 1. There is my original f of x line. Is everybody good with that? That is f of x. we know what is going to happen for g of x. G of x is going to look the same, but it's going to move up 3. How do you move up 3? You take any point on that graph and you move it up 1, 2, 3.
Okay, we're not attaching a new slope. The slopes are going to be the same.
Yeah.
So if the slopes are the same, what are the lines going to be to each other? We haven't talked about this yet. Parallel, right? So after we were done here working with these lines, they should be parallel to each other. They should not touch or look like they're going to touch.
So I could actually graph this line without doing much math at all. I took that point and I moved it up 3, and I could take this point and go up 1, 2, 3. And I put a dot, and couldn't I just connect those dots and make a line through it? And couldn't I call that g of x now? Wasn't g of x taking that line and shifting it up 3? Can you see it? Everybody good with that? That's option 1. I used what's called the translation. I moved the graph up 3. Option 2, did you see how I substituted in 3x minus 4 for f of x? Let's simplify this equation. Are you ready? Are there any like terms on the right side over here after I added 3? I added 3 because they told me to up here. Are there any like terms? I see a 3x minus 4 and I see a plus 3. No?
Yeah.
What's negative 4 plus 3? These parentheses don't matter because there isn't any multiplication out there, is there? I can drop the parentheses. What's negative 4 plus 3? 3x minus 1. Could you graph that? Could you graph 3x minus 1? It's already graphed, but what if I did option 2 and I wrote it like this and I graphed it? What's the slope? 3. What's the y-intercept?
0, negative 1.
0, negative 1. I'm going to go ahead and graph the point 0, negative 1. Are you ready? Oh, wait. 0, negative 1. It's already graphed. Why? Because it was that red line moving up 3. You see it? This is the math behind it. This was just looking at it from a graph standpoint. You see how either one is fine.
And then from that negative 1 y-intercept, what's our slope, guys? What's our slope? 3. So you're going to go up 3, right 1, and there's our next point. And there we go.
Mathematical. Before I even look at what this is, what's this telling me to do? Take f of x and move it left or right, or up and down? Left or right, one of the two.
Because it's in parentheses, right? With the x?
We just learned the rule up here. Horizontal, it's f of x minus h. Okay. And is it left or right? Left, how many? 3, very good. So here's the question. I'm going to give you time to write. Here's the question. Can you graph this line? Do you know how to graph the line? Awesome. Can you move it left 3? Once you graph it, could you move it left 3? Do you know how to do that? You pick 2 points and move it left 3. Could you do that? Then you can do this problem. All right? Let's do it. What's the slope? What's the y-intercept?
0, negative 1.
0, negative 1. 0, negative 1. Up to right 1. You should really be asking yourself at this point, if you can't identify the slope and the y-intercept, why not? We've done dozens of these. Is it you've missed a lot of school? Is it you zoned out for a couple weeks? Is it maybe you're not trying as hard as you can? Or is it maybe you have tried and you're just still confused, right? But whatever it is, you guys are still missing that on the tests. Whatever it is, we need to figure it out. It's not going away. Okay, that was f of x in black. F of x. I want to graph g of x. G of x is f of x translated left 3. How do I do that? Pick a point. Slide to the left. 3 hops this time. 1, 2, 3. You agree, this is not a slope problem right now. This is a translation problem. How do I graph another point? Because if I can graph 2 points, I can graph the line. Take the other point and move it. 1, 2, 3. And graph it. They should not crisscross.
Why, guys? Tell me right now, why are the lines parallel? Who can tell me? Because go ahead, Dorian. They have the same slope. Very good. Okay, we're not changing the slope at all. We just moved the whole thing 3 left. They should be parallel, or they should not touch or look like they're going to touch. Nice job.
The other teachers aren't doing.
No, we didn't do the other today.
Well, no, they're not doing take x plus 3 and plug it in for x here, are they? Distribute. Are you okay with looking at it? I could do this one another way. I showed you 2 ways on the first one. We could do this another way. I think it's kind of confusing. Can you guys do the graphing way? Awesome. What time's this class over?
I think we should just maybe talk about the next 2, about the translations, and then let them do those 2 for homework.
These 2?
Yeah. Talk about what's going to happen. Guys, is this going to be a left, right, up, down?
Up, down.
Up, down. You guys agree? Okay, so what is it going to be? Down 3. So put down 3. So for homework tonight, graph the first line. Graph the first line, 1/3 x plus 1, and then move those points. And you can put more than 2. You can put 3, 4, and then move the points down 3. Graph the new line. It's a nice line.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Welcome.
Do you agree that's f of x? That's our starting point. You guys told us we're going to move down 3. Ready? Down 1, 2, 3. Down 1, 2, 3. And that is called, what's that line called? What's its name?
Vertical.
G of x.
G of x.
G of x.
Parallel.
G of x is the red line minus 3. So that black line must be called G of x. That's just its name. Also the name of my oldest child. Just call him G.
I thought her name was Gia. So
G
it's
of
G of
X.
x.
The middle name's X. G of X.
Okay. That makes sense. It's Hester right here that I graded.
Thank you, sir.
Extra was one. 8th period, right?
Else can make that?
Anybody else not? Was anybody else not here yesterday? You're not ready to take it. You got to take the practice, do that practice and stuff. Probably what, next week or what? What do you want to take it? You got to do the practice test and stuff.
Mr. Parker, what are you doing for me?
Oh, no, don't do the back. They're different problems.
The first 2 on the assignment?
Do the next problem. The E, what is that on your home notes? Do D, do this one. Guys, do this one tonight. What are we going to move that one? Okay, it's in parentheses, so we're talking right or left. It's opposite of what we think. So graph the first line and move that line 3 to the right.
That's certainly homework.
That's it?
Nice.
That's it.
Beautiful.
Have a good night, guys.
You too, Mr. Parker.
You too.
Yeah.
was